आँख खोलने के लिए रेडी हो जाओ because this episode is an eye opener.
Once they recover, then they will tell you, yes, Dr. Saab, you're just like a god. That's how you feel better.
You've had a remarkable career.
I was the first retinal surgeon here in Northeast at that time.
How did you end up choosing Sanskrit as a subject?
So I wanted to score good marks. Artificial retina, of course, it has come, but the cost of the surgery is more than crore. Opacity, it is the game changer in retinal surgery. And
What is your way of finding balance?
I chose this place because this is my hometown. Always I like to serve my own people.
In the case of eye care, do you think it is adequate here, available in institutes in Guwahati?
Difficult times are always there. We did not have OCT in India at that time. COVID period, these things mobile and these things laptop, it was used excessively. If any patient comes under one roof, they should get all the benefits. You will see almost 60 to 70% patients are diabetic nowadays. Myopia, that is short-sightedness, minus power, it has gone up tremendously.
A lot of people are afraid, I think.
Imagine for a second your eyes are closed and you're not able to see anything. Everything is dark and blind. How you feel things, how you sense things, the entire experience of it is lost. Which is why on this special episode of Guwahati Connection, we have Dr. S.U. Ahmed, who has over 25 years of experience in taking care of the eye. Well, his official designation is that of a Vitreo Retinal Surgeon. Dr. Ahmed comes with a fantastic experience spreading over 25 years in the army, internationally, and of course across India. Today, he has set up an institution by the name of the Retina Center, which is a leading eye care hospital in Guwahati. As we speak to him, we bust some myths, talk about facts. We really want to understand যে গাজৰ খালে চকু ভাল হয় নে নহয় সেই পৰ্যন্ত মই সুধিছোঁ তেওঁক কাৰণে it is important for all of us watching this on our device that we have the best knowledge of how to take care of our eyes. I would request you to stick to the end of the episode. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment box below. We'll be sure to pick it up anytime soon and perhaps get you the answers from the team.
Okay, good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Apuni aji সময় দিয়াৰ কাৰণে. I hope আজি কথা পাতিলে I'll be able to learn a lot from you. Our viewers will be able to learn a lot from you. And over the next hour or so that we speak, I hope it's as interesting as it is for you, that it will be definitely for us. So first I want to understand, Dr. Saab, how's life? How's life treating you? Can I go Sulisa Saab?
It's I think it's okay, very comfortable, no problem.
Why do you say okay? Like comfortable life?
No, it's okay. Whatever is going on, smooth running of the days and these things, everything is okay. Good.
But is it, has it always been, say, is it been smooth now, or has it always been smooth, or have you seen difficult times at some point?
Difficult times are always there because you see, if you want to catch something, you will have to wait and then only you can catch. It's the same way. You take a long journey from reaching from A to B. So in between, you may have some tough time, personally or socially also. So after all, you achieve the goal.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the start of your journey. So we've read about you, we've heard about you, we've seen things about you. But if you could take us through your journey from the beginning, how did it start? How did you get into ophthalmology? What was your education background? In brief, but sir.
So I passed out matriculation from one Assamese medium school that was in Hujai, my hometown in the district of Nagaon. And I got first division with 3 letters in the subjects. Out of this, Sanskrit was one of that. And I scored second highest marks in Sanskrit at that time. Then after matriculation, I joined Cotton College, Guwahati, in pre-university science, and I passed out 1976 again in the first division. And at that time, there was no entrance examination for medical or engineering like this, and it was on the basis of marks only. We got selected for medical education. I did my MBBS from Silchar Medical College. That was under Guwahati University. Both Guwahati Medical College and Silchar Medical College were under Guwahati University. And I topped, again, I was one of the topper in the MBBS examination. And I got very good marks in ophthalmology.
Also in school, also in college, and then also in your MBBS exam, you've been a topper all throughout, is what I understand.
Then I, after MBBS, I did my internship from Guwahati Medical College again. And after internship, I joined my house job. At that time, we used to call it a house surgeon. So I joined there. I did it for 6 months. Then I got a job in Indian Army. I joined there as a captain in Army Medical Corps. And after 4.5 years, I got promotion to major. Then after 5 years, I wanted to come out again from that job because I was not satisfied. It was little, if you are these things, if you want to do some really professional jobs, then I think that was not good place for me. And everything was restricted. Then I opted to get released from army. And
You opted for VRS, I think.
no, I was in short service commission. Then I was even in short service commission. The gazette notification came that your service is extended for another 10 years. Where I did not like to stay. Then I applied for release. It was not sanctioned. Then I moved to army headquarters and all. I got released finally. Then I came out. After coming out from armed forces, then I started my career again as a postgraduate MS in ophthalmology. I chose this subject because it was a good subject, neat and clean, everything. Do surgery, check the patients and all, and you have your own time. You can have little social some time for your social life also. So I chose that specialty. After MS, then I wanted to do some super specialty in particular this subject, and I chose a tough subject that was a vitreoretinal. That is the one part of the eye that is most posterior part of the eye where this image is formed. And then only it is transmitted to the brain and this one can see. It is not that this lens and all will give you the vision. It is the part of the eye that is the retina, that is nerve cells, which where this image is formed. Only light passes from the cornea lens, and it goes to the retina and image is formed.
In a reverse format, right? Yes.
Format, and it goes to the brain through the nerves, and then only you can tell it is a person or a cow or a dog or whatever it is.
Right.
That is registered in the brain. So that's why I was little fascinated about these things. So I wanted to do little. I was little adventurous since I was in army. You know that I was little adventurous, and I chose that specialty. And I went to Chennai, Sankara Netralaya, Chennai. At that time, Dr. S.S. Badrinath, he was chief of that hospital, and I did my fellowship in Retina Vitreous there for a year. And after completion, I stayed for some times again there. Did some works, and then this proposal came for a consultancy, a consultant in Guwahati as in retina vitreous, retina, my specialty. Actually, that proposal came from my chief there only. He wanted me to join here, either here or to stay there. Then I chose this place. Well, this is my hometown. Always I like to serve my own people, to give some benefit to our own people. So I joined here in Sankaradeva Nethralaya, Guwahati, and I started my journey from that as a specialized, as a specialist in retina and vitreoretina, and I started my career in 1994, probably. I joined there. At that time, people they don't know about retina and vitreous because I was the first retinal surgeon here in Northeast at that time. Even if you ask for retinal checkup, people used to ask, "What is that? What was that?" So gradually now these things have been changed. Now the people come to us for retinal checkup. For diabetic patients, these other patients, somebody is having some problem, flashing of light, some floaters or something, patient usually come, or some diabetic specialists, nephrologists and all, they send to us for opinion on retina. So these things have been changed in a drastic way. Then I started my career there only. I did lots of thousands of surgeries there. This is the open surgery. These are the open surgeries, and I did several lakhs of laser treatment there. After that, during this period, about from 2000, from 1994 to 2003, I was there for almost for 10 years. So during this period, I went to Singapore, Singapore National Eye Center. That was for a visit and for presenting some papers, scientific papers in an international conference, and I stayed there for a month. At that time, I saw there is not much difference between our specialty here in India and their specialty. So it is at par.
Wow.
So then I came back again, joined Sankaradeva Nethralaya. Then I stayed there. Again, I went to Germany because I had a scientific paper in international conference there.
Right.
Then I stayed back there for another 15 days or a month. That was a special training for me. That was submacular surgery. That is a particular surgery in retina. I was with Professor Eckhard there. So I did I assisted quite a bit of surgery. And there, German people are very nice. They usually like to give some works to the fellows or whoever is assistant is there. So he used to take me during surgery, and I enjoyed my time there in Frankfurt also. Then I came back. I stayed in Netherlands for another couple of years. After that, I left the job. I left the job. Basically, I wanted to improve myself further.
Wow.
So I started a unit there in Guwahati, in Bangagor. That is Guwahati Eye Institute. So some other associates of mine, they joined me there. So I was there for about from 2005 to 2017 or 18 I was there. So it was okay there. But only problem I would like to have some more expansion with more facilities so that patients, if any patient comes under one roof, they should get all the benefits like eye checkup, then investigation, then surgeries, laser, anything, any treatment required, they should get it under one roof. That's why I had started this center. It is the Retina Center in 2019.
And it's been about 6 years.
About 6 years, going to be 6 years. So after starting this, it was a small setup initially. Then I think today, I think we have got almost 8 or 9 doctors of different specialties in ophthalmology, cornea specialists, glaucoma specialists, then other retina specialists, oculoplasty surgeons, then squint and all the specialties we are having. All the specialist doctors are available now. And if anybody comes for any treatment, they don't have to go back. They will get the same treatment at par with in any other part of the country or at par with in other abroad also, international standards. All the investigation facilities, all the treatment facilities are available with us now. So till now I have given this one more interesting thing is there, because there is a drastic change. So you see, medical science is very, very dynamic. From laser treatment for last several years, we have switched over to antivascular endothelial growth factor injectable treatment. But diabetic populations are also going up. From I think India is one of the hub for diabetic. So diabetic in these diabetic patients, what happens after sometimes after 10, 12 years, they usually develop diabetic retinopathies,
Acha.
diabetic macular edema, and retinal hemorrhages and all. So this kind of patients are usually we treat by antivascular endothelial growth factor. There is one injectable treatment is available. And of course, some additional laser may be required or may not be required. Depends on the case. And if required, then we can go for retinal surgeries, vitreoretinal surgeries also. So all these things are available with us.
When you were talking about your background and your career, I loved how you were smiling. Do you love your job? It sounds like you really like your job.
Yeah, I
You
like my
like
job.
But you tell me one thing that maybe you don't like about your job.
No, I always like my job.
Everything,
Yes.
all of it.
Yes.
If that is the case, it's wonderful. I think it's very important to like your job, what you do. How important do you think it is for you every day, every morning you wake up, that today I will perform a surgery and I will restore someone's vision, 10 on 10 or 6 on 6, that way?
So you see, if I don't get works every day morning, because I like to go to the OT and perform some surgeries, I really get chilled up, because I love to have this kind of life. Particularly my family members, they may not like it probably, why every day is going at morning at 8 o'clock and coming back at 7 o'clock. But without this works, work is worship. So without works, I cannot stay.
Wonderful. I think that's a beautiful attitude to have. Uh, you've had a remarkable career, how you've taken us through your experiences in the army, about Germany, about Singapore, about Chennai, and all across the globe and India. মোক যদি এটা কথা ক'ব পাৰে আৰ্মিৰ বিষয়ে, আপোনাৰ আৰ্মিৰ চবতকে মেমৰেবল এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চ কি আছিলে? That something that you did and you still remember it as a positive experience to date.
One is that is a training period. It's really remarkable. It was a basic training course in army. After joining army, all the medical graduates or postgraduates, whoever joined, we used to go to one place that was in Lucknow. So we used to stay there for about 3 months time, and during this period, you get all the all sorts of experience, starting from PT parade, throwing grenades, everything. Yeah, so that is a really memorable this thing's journey. And another thing is, when I was posted in these things, in Binagudi cantonment, in North Bengal, I was there for about almost 3.5 years. So during this time, we used to go for exercise. It's war games. So during this exercise, we used to go to Sikkim and all. There we had to stay in bunkers. So when you stay in bunkers with your colleagues, particularly you won't get medical personnel, but you will get your these other officers, non-medical personnel. You used to work means there is no work at all. Throughout the day, you will have to these things either play card or listen some music or something. And when you get up in the morning, you will find everything is snow clad. You cannot come out from your bunkers. So some helper will come with a flask of tea, and then he will remove all this in snows. Then can open the door and he will give you this things cup of tea. Then only you can come out, take a deep breath. So that was a wonderful experience.
I also want to do a small takeaway from your story. Formerly, you were saying you topped in Sanskrit. How did you end up choosing Sanskrit as a subject?
No, it was a random choice.
Random choice?
Yeah, it was a random choice, and one thing is that I know that Sanskrit, it was a very scoring subject.
Acha.
So I wanted to score good marks.
Marks hisab milai pilai loise tarmane. Fantastic. Okay. Now we'll talk about the time in present. You have been you have founded a eye care institute. You have been successfully doing surgeries. Apna background to iman vast. Apna khomoy pra when you started eye treatment and when you started studying, how did you see the technology change? Technology kiman changes aise?
बहुत changes. And when we started our career, at that time, torchlight was the only instruments in OPD patient, particularly. So with the torchlight, we used to see patient's eye. So only when I was this thing's house surgeon at that time, there was only one slit lamp that which we are having in each room now for examination of the basic examination of the patients. That used to have only in HOD's room. Anybody wants to see this means a big thing. You will have to take permission from HOD and go enter to his room, then only take the patient and see that also if he agrees. And nowadays things have been changed. Every room you will find these lit lamps. Then other things you see this investigative procedures. Investigative procedures. I'll tell you one story. Because I passed out from Regional Institute of Ophthalmology, Guwahati, MS. I did my MS from there. And when I went for fellowship in Chennai, at that time, what happened actually, the second day I was asked to assist one case of retinal surgery. I was asked to assist that case. But I had never seen microscope in operation theater earlier. In Guwahati, medical college, there was no microscope at all. So then my this consultant who was there, surgeon, my teacher, he understood my problem. That when I used to see under microscope, it was a convex lens. So when I put my hand or fingers from this side, it goes to the opposite side. Then I realized what has happened. And my other fellow mates who came from other parts of India, particularly from South India, they were quite used to this kind of thing because they were using microscope and all. So then my consultant, he told me, you do one thing. After finishing this surgery, you come and start working stitching this the gauze pieces under microscope and see how it works. Then I realized that after 1 or 2 days, gradually I come up with that part. I could manage easily afterwards, but it took at least 2-3 days
Of actual training under the microscope.
microscope. So that was one experience that we were lacking that part at that time. But our fellow mates who came from other parts of India, they were quite used to this kind of things. So for them, there was no problem. So now regarding investigative procedures, earlier there was no fluorescent angiography. So fluorescent angiography, it is very, very important things, particularly to like angiography of the heart. We do angiography of the retina. And
Okay.
and it is the same way we inject a dye. This dye goes to the through the veins. It goes to the circulation and to the eyes. It goes to the veins and arteries of the retina. You can see it, and we'll take some photographs, serial photographs, and later on we analyze these things. So where is the problem? Where is the block? The same way in the heart there is block. The same way there may be block in the retinal circulation, or there may be some abnormal proliferation of the abnormal vessels, or some other problems, anything, whatever is there, you can see it
Right.
with the photographs. So this is one important investigation that we are having now. And another thing is optical coherence tomography, OCT, we call it. Nowadays it is commonly done before any surgeries, particularly cataract. Before cataract surgery, we do it. We do it to see the function of the retina, function of the optic nerve. So these two things we should be sure. But we will have to give prognosis to the patient that your visual outcome after surgery, it will be like this. So if you go through this, then after this you can analyze it and give the your prognostic these things to the patient, that your visual outcome will be like this. If it is bad, then it will be bad. You tell them beforehand, then there is no problem. If you don't tell, then there will be problem. Then
Ajit Data, do you think the medical education, at least in the eye, in the case of eye care, do you think it is adequate here, available in institutes in Guwahati?
yeah,
It is adequate. Now the surgeons who are being taught are not having hard struggles like you.
regarding OCT, I will tell you another story, because I went to Chennai, and Professor G.A. Filton, who is the father of this pneumoretinopexy. This is a particular type of surgery in retinal detachment. Probably you have heard about retinal detachment. So he is the father of that surgery. So fortunately, I happened to meet him in Chennai, Sankara Netralaya. He came there. He stayed there. I had personal communication with him, and he was giving a lecture on OCT. That was in 1997, probably 1997. He was giving a lecture on OCT, and I was thinking, what is that OCT? We did not have OCT in India at that time, and the cost of the OCT machine was $80,000 at that time, and nowhere it was available. Even in Sankaranethala, Chennai, also it was not there. So I heard a lecture of him. Then I came back. I was telling everybody that there is a new machine. This OCT has come. With this, you can scan the retina. You can see everything. Then after another year or so, one of my friend in Bombay, Dr. Natarajan, S. Natarajan, he brought that machine. That was the first machine came to India in 1997. After that, now you go anywhere, you will find OCT, and OCT, it is the game changer in retinal surgery and retinal evaluation. So it has revolutionized the whole concept of the retinal diseases, vitreoretinal diseases, diabetic retinopathy changes, diabetic macular edema, or swelling of the retina, everything, whole thing, you can see it nicely in front of you.
Right.
What is happening?
So better the technology, better the diagnosis, and better the treatment thereafter. The way you're talking about your work, clearly it is understood. And you also mentioned that your family tells you that you're keeping us so busy. You are staying so busy. You are not being able to give enough time at home. How do you keep up with this? What is your way of finding balance in life?
No, you see, still, of course, from morning 8:30 to 6:30, I remain busy. So during this period, I cannot give time to any of my family member. For this, really, I am sorry. But after this, of course, I give my whatever time is left. I give this time to my family members, and of course, during on Sundays, I don't work. Otherwise, I work for 6 days. Though we are open now, even on Sunday.
Yeah.
Some other my colleague they come, but I don't come generally. And Sunday I like to avoid all the professional business.
A day for yourself. Are you happy with the way your career has transpired, your trajectory has gone, where you are headed? Or now after Retina Center, there are more things that you want to do? बोले मैं आरो हिकी बोला गया. So you look after all this. I am going to do something new and next.
No, so there is no end of this learning. So I like to have some more these things knowledge regarding these things, and I'd like to expedite more our this retina center, and we would like to have some little expansion of this center. I feel it is a little smaller place. We would like to have some other places, either in the city or outside the city, somewhere else, and probably we'll do it soon.
Wonderful. I like how you said that it's always important to keep learning. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's not that all eye related issues have been treated. till date, I'm sure there are more issues, new problems that come, and more developments that happen in both technology and in treatment, more advancements in treatment and medicines. How do you keep learning? What do you do keep yourself number one in the game?
No, keep learning means one. This patient is they are the best teacher. I feel because from the patient we come to know what is the this outcome of the treatment and all. From them also we get some idea what how whether we are keeping pace with the present situation or not. One point, of course, I like to have because there is no improvement in the treatment facilities of retinitis pigmentosa patients. Probably you have heard about কুকুরিকোনা না মানে এন্ধাৰত নেদেখে মানুহে so some cells in the retina it does not work, so that is one part. After, even when I was a student, there was no treatment. After passing out, after doing my MS, after doing my fellowship in retina, still now there is no treatment. Only it is in the experimental stage. Artificial retina, of course, it has come, but the cost of the surgery is more than crore. And only 2-3 surgeries were done till now in the world. So nobody ventures for these things, I think. So let's see. Some genetic engineering is coming up. So if gene changes can be done, probably there will be a breakthrough.
Let's talk about a place where doctor comes when the disease is diagnosed. What about right before that? The diet, the dietary, the lifestyle related matters. Um, I think eye is such a sensitive part. Do you think diet is important, that it manages and mitigates your eye health? You can always take care of your eye. If it's not damaged by birth, ভালকে খালে ভালকৈ থাকিলে চকু ঠিকে থাকিব.
I don't think that it has got much value on these things. It is basically the parents feel better that if every day we get the complaints from the parents that হেৰি নাখায়, মাছ নাখায়, মাংস নাখায়, বা শাক পাচলি নাখায়, মানে তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কুৱেশ্যন আমি প্ৰায় শুনি থাকোঁ. কিন্তু it does not have much value actually. Only, of course, yes, in diabetic patients, that is very important, dietary part. Because if diet is not regularized, then your diabetic you cannot control your diabetes. And if you cannot control your diabetes, then ultimately you will end up in these problems, diabetic. Okay.
Have the number of people who have been coming with eye related problems related to diabetes, have they increased over the past few years?
Even if you go to our OPD, you will see almost 60 to 70% patients are diabetic nowadays.
Okay.
Some people will tell, no, I am not diabetic, I don't have diabetes. Never. You ask for the test, you'll find blood sugar is 400, 300 like this. So diet, it has got an important role in particularly in diabetes. And because unless you control your diabetes, there is no way you cannot get out from this diabetic retinopathy problem. And that is the biggest problem nowadays we are facing, diabetic retinopathy. And another thing is age-related macular degeneration. Of course, there is some role for the diet in age-related macular degeneration. We give usually antioxidants or particular vitamins for the retina. And to avoid the smoking and all, that is also hazardous to this kind of eye disease.
So a lot of these people who are coming to you come with diabetes related. So you're saying 70% of people who come to your clinic are, say, diabetic, pre-diabetic, or have undiagnosed diabetes as an issue. What about working professionals, sir? Today they are spending significant amount of time in front of screens. Do you see are they coming to you seeking support and seeking guidance? What is your go-to advice for them first?
One thing is digitalization. It has created some problem because going through the screen for a long hours, So it causes dryness of the eyes, irritation, watering. This is one problem. So we usually advise them, okay, you work, try to do frequent blinking. Because that is, we call it a rule of 20. So you work for 20 minutes, then keep your eyes closed for 20 seconds. Then again you start working for 20 minutes, then just keep your eyes closed for 20 seconds. So that gives a natural lubrication of the cornea. So you won't get much irritation and watering if you follow this rule. But usually when you work in the computer for a long time, it's a staring gaze. So you forget this rule. So that's how you can get this problem, this watering, irritation, dryness, and all this problem.
A lot of people come with those
Yes,
kind of
yes.
issues to you.
Particularly those who are professionals in computers and all. All nowadays, even the children are also going through this thing, screen, mobile, and all.
Right, right. Let's talk a little bit about children. What is the future of their eyesight? Why I'm asking is is because when we were when we were growing up, we still had very limited exposure to phone. আজিকালি 2 বছৰ 3 বছৰীয়া বাচ্চাৰ হাতত মোবাইল ফোন থাকে আৰু সৰুৰ পৰাই ফোনটো ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰে। Are small kids coming, are parents with kids and children coming with real issues that because of using phone, because of using screen, excessive screen time, চকু বেয়া হৈছে, এইটো হৈ আছে নে?
হৈ আছে এইটো হৈ আছে, particularly during this COVID period. What happened? COVID period, these things, mobile and these things, laptop, it was used excessively. So after that, so many kids are coming with these things, complaints of watering, irritation, and dryness. One problem. Another is myopia, that is short-sightedness, minus power. It has gone up tremendously because the whole world is in your hand only. Because they don't go for any outdoor activities. So if you go on keeping for near vision only, you will have that near vision intact, but your far vision deteriorates. And that's how if you go to any school today, when we were students, we used to go to school without specs. And almost 98% students used to come without specs. Only 1 or 2% they come with specs. Nowadays, you go to any school, you will find almost 80 to 90% students are wearing spectacles. But this is the one drawback of digitalization. So, but we always advise to the parents, okay, let them see mobile, watch mobile or laptop or whatever it is, but limited period. Don't ask them but you cannot stop them, but let them use it, but for a limited period, and let them go for outdoor activities.
I बहुत sensitive part है, right? A lot of people are afraid, I think. That may be my assumption. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of people are scared to take an eye surgery or undergo an eye surgery. এই fear to এতিয়াও আছে নেকি? কি চকু দুটাই আছে, কিবা এটা হৈ যাব, ভুল হৈ যাব, protective about their eyesight.
No, it is ভয়টোতো এতিয়াও আছে, definitely, but it is we people to make them understand what is the problem and how this should be solved. Particularly in cataract surgeries and all, people used to লাহে লাহে অলপ মানে পিছুৱাব বিচাৰে. Otherwise, for retinal surgeries and all, because there is no way out. They know that suddenly one day they cannot see. So they go for blindness. So there is no way out, they will have to go for surgeries. So সেই ভয়টো আমি ভিট্ৰিঅ' সাৰ্জনবিলাকে নাপাওঁ, কিন্তু কেটাৰেক্ট চাৰ্জাৰী বা বাকী যিবিলাক চাৰ্জাৰী আছে সেইবিলাকত কিন্তু মানুহে এতিয়াও ভয় কৰে. But we'll have to make them understand what is the problem.
Okay, because you mentioned cataract, doctor. Is cataract very age-specific issue? Is it an age-specific issue, or do you also see this in younger generation and younger kids? Or do newer generations, as they come up, because their eyesight-related issues are increasing, and at a young age also you can contract cataract?
No, you may have cataract. Cataract, what happens actually, we have, or everybody, we are having this natural lens inside. This God gifted one. That is denaturalization of the proteins. Lens, it contains protein. So it is denaturalized. Like you see, egg and egg yolks. You fry it, it becomes an omelette. Uh-huh. So it is just like this. This denaturation of the protein of the lens occurs, and it gets opaque. From this clear lens, it becomes opaque. That is cataract. So it can be there from birth also, from childhood also, or there are different types of cataracts. The one that is the natural, is mature, that is senile cataract. We call it senile means in old age cataract. So almost everybody is having this cataract. But another types of cataract due to some injury, due to some drug related cataract. Suppose somebody is using steroid for some other diseases, they may have a kind of cataract. We call it posterior subcapsular cataract. Or there may be some other disease like uveitis, a disease in the eyes, that may cause cataract. Or in infancy, developmental cataract may be there. So cataract may be there in any age.
Maybe in any age. Okay. And a lot of people are coming with cataract related issues in Guwahati.
Yeah.
There's a small trend that I want to talk to you about. The trend of eyeball tattoos.
Yes.
Have you come across anyone, people doing tattoos on eyeballs?
Yeah, but we are not getting these kinds of cases. But we are doing tattooing of the cornea.
Okay, you
This cornea becomes whitish. So in this, there are different layers in the cornea. So to make it like the other eye is black, we tattoo the cornea. We put some liquid substances inside the several layers of the cornea. So inside layers of the cornea, we put this black substances. It becomes black. So you can just compare with the other eyes.
What about lenses? People do a lot of fashion, a lot of style. They put colored lenses and they put cat lenses and they are always out and about wearing these. Do you think these are safe in the long term?
No, it's of no use actually. So
কৰে মানুহে ষ্টাইলৰ কাৰণে কৰিব পাৰে, ফেশ্বনৰ কাৰণে কৰিব পাৰে, but do these have long term effects and problems at any point?
no, it does not have any problem for long time. That is a fashionable thing.
And now that we've spoken about, what I would say, the generally nice things about your industry, is one question I want to one feedback I want to understand from you. Perhaps a small incident or an experience with a patient who was so grateful. See, please, when you restore someone's vision or you correct it, I think the kind of eyesight that people gain, I think it's amazing. I want to share a small story from my end. I was a bespectacled boy as a child till about class 10, I think 10 or 11. I used to wear spectacles. I underwent a small procedure, a LASIK surgery, which gave me a 10 on 10 vision. And that time, for the first time, when I just wore my specs, I did not realize that the world looked so clear. And I was like a child, right? So I told the doctor, moi to bhaba nasilu je duniyakhon dekha diman safa boli. I had about minus 4.5 as my power. So everything used to be very blurry. And I thought this was normal. So I am always in gratitude of that doctor who was there, who diagnosed and who gave me corrective specs and glasses. If you could share a story like this from your experience, where a patient's gratitude has left you maybe in awe.
No, you see, I can give you some examples. Dr. Homen Borgohai, who is no more, during COVID, he died. He had a problem, that is disease of the retina, that is age-related macular degeneration. We call it wet AMD. There are different types of AMDs. One is wet, another is dry. So he had wet AMD. So he happened to came to me at that time, and I diagnosed it, and I treated him with similar kind of injectable treatment, and he was quite happy. But anyway, once he went to Hyderabad, LV Prasad Hyderabad, he saw there, and the doctor, whoever is there, he knows me very well. He said, "You go back, sir. This is the drops you are using. Use it, and you go for regular checkup." So I used to treat him almost for 3-4 years before till he died. So that is one story. Another is so he was having good vision following the treatment. He was very happy, and I used to have several interview with him. Then another is Dr. Nilamanu Fukwan. Probably you have heard of. He's a famous poet. He is also no more now. He was also having this kind of disease, age-related macular degeneration, and he was undergoing treatment with me. So till he died, he was seeing at least. It was earlier what happened. This kind of disease happened means there is no treatment. So nowadays, this due to advancement of the science and technology, this is possible to treat this kind of people, and people really they are very grateful.
Mm. You mentioned Mr. Homen Borgoy, you mentioned Nilumani Fukon also. So I understand that you have dealt with high profile people, high profile cases. Can you talk to us about a little bit of a profile? What are the other kind of people who come seeking treatment for you because they trust their confidence in you? আৰু কাৰ লগত এনেকুৱা নাম ক'ব পাৰে নেকি sir?
বহুত আছে এনেকুৱা.
Huh?
You can see Mukesh Agarwal. Probably you have heard about him. He was a IPS officer and retired. So he was not he actually his mother. He had a macular hole, means there is a hole in the retina, and she had a problem. So I did the surgery for her, and his father was also treated by me. They are no more now. His mother is still there. So like this, so many other people. Almost every day, some VIPs are coming. Even the people from in and around the cities, from other states also, some ministers and MLAs, they keep coming.
So you're used to dealing with VIPs. Do they also seek emotional support like other patients? Do you also give them medical plus and emotional support as a doctor? Like you said, my job is to make them comfortable, to give them confidence.
No, I don't differentiate between the other patients and this patient, but
Of course, that's not what I meant. Of course not. But do they also come with a sense of nervous attitude? It's the eye. I have to be very careful. Please, doctor, dekh lijiyega.
Yes, always there is a panicky. Any patient, whoever he is a VIP or anything, if any problem is there, always they get panic.
And kind of as we wrap up the conversation, doctor, I want to understand maybe a small sentence on your experience of treating someone's eye. You take care of people's vision, the way they see the world, the way they perceive the world, which is one of the most important senses. If you take this away, there's nothing but darkness, and there's only so much we can rely on touching and smelling things. But I think what you do is phenomenal. So if you could give one example of uh, how more than example of one kind of a consolidated line on what this experience means to you altogether.
Close your eyes, you see the darkness, and open your eyes, you can see the beautiful world. That is how we maintain vision.
Huh. So before we close, a couple of still questions are there now that we're ending it. One part that we wanted to speak to you is about how the new generation, like you said, an increasing number of patients are coming, whether it is diabetes, retinopathy related, or with this newer generation coming to you with eye issues. Guwahati suddenly has seen a rise in the number of eye care centers. Do you think there are so many issues that Ekebarte it needed so many infrastructure that needed to come in? Are there so many patients? And just to add to that question, always there is a supply demand issue in the medical community, that for regular diseases there are not enough doctors who are, say, going out to rural areas, and there are more patients than doctors. Do you think the same is the case of eye, or do you think there are enough number of doctors to take care of eyes?
Uh, Demand is definitely increasing because with so many eye diseases are coming up, number of diabetic patients are growing up, and this Guwahati, since it's a you can see it is an gateway of northeastern India. So people come here for treatment from other states also. So that's a need for this specialty to come up.
And as we wrap up today's conversation, I have the one last question. It may sound a little typical, but a lot of parents want their kids to pursue the field of medicine. If you could speak to the viewers today as to why a career in medicine is important, or maybe they can choose not to, what would your advice be?
Medicine, definitely it's a very, very good career. But one has to pursue and work for a longer time to establish oneself. But other careers, you can go for computer, you can go for engineering and others. You can, in short time, you can establish yourself. But in the other way, you get your satisfaction by by treating patients. Once they recover, then they will tell you, yes, Dr. Saab, you are just like a god. That's how you feel better. So that is definitely, it's a wonderful subject. One should go for.
Okay. All right. On that beautiful note, I want to thank you for your time. Before we call it an end, we have a small special segment that we want to do with you called Myths versus Facts. I have about 9 random statements here, and we want to hear from you on which of these are true, and then perhaps an additional line on why it's important, correct or wrong, and if it's false or if it's a myth, বা সেইটো কিয় ভুল হয় তো আপুনি ডিবাংক কৰি দিব লাগে. Ready? Number 1, doctors always have bad handwriting.
No.
But why do you think this exists?
Because I don't have bad handwriting. Dr. Anup Burman, who is the medical director here, he has got beautiful handwriting. I have seen so many other doctors that have beautiful handwriting. So it was usually earlier days when we were small kids, we used to see we cannot read doctor's handwriting.
Eye exercises can improve your vision.
No.
Some of the myth-based eye exercises are something like this. Do you think these things work?
I don't think this works.
Third, staring at the sun for even a short time without wearing the right protection can damage your retina permanently and even cause blindness.
Blindness may not be there, but it can damage your vision permanently. You may lose your central vision. But what happens if you look at the sun? It can cause burn at the central part of the retina, that we call it macula. So there is macular burn. So once that is burned, it is the most sensitive part, around 290 micron diameter size. So if that is burned, then your visual acuity is gone.
Fourth, color blindness cannot be cured.
Yes.
Cannot be cured? Okay. What is the solution for color blindness?
There is no solution. This usually they should suppose going to these things somewhere in the road by car or something, they should remember the sequence: red, green, yellow, not like this. They will remember their own.
1, 2, 3, they should remember. What about
it's a genetic thing.
Okay. But there are certain Instagram videos that have recently gone viral where people are wearing glasses that fix color blindness. Are those for real?
I don't think.
Not real. Number 5. Only older people contract cataract,
No.
which you've already explained to us, right? Number 6. Eating carrots will significantly improve your vision.
Not significantly, but it contains vitamin A, so it helps.
Wearing glasses weakens your eye over time.
No, it's not like this. It's a false idea.
It's false. So mostly it is due to degenerative use of or exposure to devices or not. The environment determines your eye's strength overall. 8th, corrective LASIK surgery will eventually come back to the eye's original state and is not permanent in nature.
Now you see, LASIK cannot change the pathology of the eye.
Okay.
What is the stretching of the retina and this is sclera? It will be there. It is just like physics. It can only correct your reflective error.
Okay. So it is likely that someone who underwent LASIK will have their eyes come back to say the way it was before the surgery.
It may not come back to before the surgery, but if before LASIK treatment, one should understand that at least for 2 years, one's power should be stable. Then only one can go for LASIK. Otherwise, after doing LASIK, your power is increasing. Today, your power is -6. Tomorrow, your power is going to be -7. Particularly in progressive myopia, one should be very, very careful. Let it be stable for 2 years at least. Then you go for surgery. Or if anybody wants to go for, still very keen to go for the surgery, you can do the treatment. You tell the person that we are treating it, but here this glass power will not be there now, but it may come back again, but it will be thinner than the present one.
Okay. But so not at that rate. So suppose the power stabilizes. And then after say the age of 24, 25, someone has done their LASIK and the power is stabilized for say additional 40 years. Additional say 20 years. And then once the person is closing 45 or 50 or 55, will the eyesight come back to its original state or degenerate over time, which is a general thing?
Usually it degenerates over time.
Degenerates over time. Okay. And the last question being, anti-glare glasses can protect your eyes.
No, it cannot protect your eyes, but it will give you some soothing effect.
All right. Okay, sir. Thank you for your time. I hope you had a good session of chat with us. For everyone who stayed tuned to the end of the episode, thank you so much for listening to us and Dr. Ahmed on this episode of the Guwahati Connection. And I'll see you next time very soon. If you have not already done so, please blink your eyes and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel of GPlus. Cheers.